Hello and welcome to Daily Game Design. Ready to rock here. I've got some, I think, kind of fun updates and, things I'm working on. Of course, we have our, with the summer coming up, things are changing. Things are becoming a lot more fluid in terms of schedule. I think I probably have only one more day of subbing at Mauna Loa. Anyway, looking ahead to events coming up in the summertime, we have our first design meetup of the summer next Sunday, a week from today. Is it summer right now, or is it technically becoming summer? When does summer start? Okay, well, technically, the summer break, right, from school, and so usually we have some more more interest from people coming out, because they've loosened up, school wise and stuff. So usually our design meetups during the summer are a little better attended. People have a little more breathing room to work on projects. So anyway, excited about that. We're also looking to put another game night on the calendar over at the Ohana Hale, which is the spot we go to, Pearl Harbor area. Looking forward to that. Of course, I have my course coming up. I sent my paperwork, meaning my passports and like invitation letter, etc., over to a friend of mine in California who's going to be doing my visa run for me. What a crazy system! They need somebody to show up in person to deliver the documents. So, it's just, it wouldn't be worth it for me to fly over and do that myself. The only consulate, or I think they don't technically have an embassy here. The closest consulate is LA. So I had to send, stuff over there. There are businesses that do this for like hundreds of dollars, because it is a pain. You got to go deliver the stuff, hope everything is in line so that they can run the paperwork through, and then go and pick it up. So it's kind of a hassle. But anyway, so that's going on. I need to really, I'm glad to like kind of buckle down and look at the content I'll be teaching. I have design projects I've been making good progress on, and I'll share how that's working. In fact, I think what I'd like to do even right now is show you a video I made as an update for Gabe Barrett, who is he runs the Board Game Design Lab Facebook group, or at least, he started it, and then he publishes solo games once a month. I pitched him this game, A Perilous Road, a long time ago, and that's when it was basically in its infancy. And it was more of a concept. You'll see that I mentioned that here in the video. It was an interesting task to figure out what to talk about, because he hopefully does remember the core mechanics, and so I hint at some of the improvements I make, and then I introduce the campaign. And anyway, you'll see how it goes. You should be able to see the video here. Hey Gabe, Scott here. Thanks so much for a few minutes of your time. I'm excited to share some of the changes and developments with A Perilous Road. So the core is still here. The immediacy and clarity of the goal of getting travelers to their destination. What I take to be a really pure, elegant relationship between traveler and thug still exists. So where you have the traveler call in the thug, and the thug tells us what the traveler is carrying. We have a really simple way of assigning thug abilities now based on that relationship. They come in sometimes enraged, stalking, or ranged. I've simplified systems around that. Their encounters have simplified a little bit. So anyway, it's been a really cool exercise to condense and compact and clean up the core, which I remember your feedback saying, okay, this feels like a concept. Well, then that's given me headspace to really think about adding some more layers, which are not necessarily like complicated layers, but these compound, right, on top of this really simple system. So I'm just really excited with how things have grown. So, experimenting with different items, different character cards that have a different flavor, and then of course different scenario parameters and little storyline tweaks that make the players have to adapt. Moving on from just like what's happening right here, well, then we zoom out and we throw everything into a campaign. So I'm going to share a little bit of that with you right now too. So of course you can imagine there's some like onboarding scenarios, but then you get things going with the basic scenario, and then success with the basic scenario is going to give you the choice of upgrades. You would choose one upgrade of your 4 kind of main actions beyond movement. Well, that upgrade is going to open up 2 possible scenarios for you. Those are listed right here. So you get to choose. What are you going to take on? What sounds interesting based on the upgrade you got? So you get through that scenario with success, you get to choose to upgrade 1 more action. And then that upgrade, it opens up 2 more scenarios. And of course, these are all elevating in the pressures they deal and some of the things you're going to have to adapt to. Let me give you an example. In this case, each time we shuffle through the thug deck, we get rid of the weakest thug. So that's a natural way to escalate the pressure. In this case, the goal of the bandits or the thugs is to steal money. And if they reach a certain capacity, that's an automatic loss condition. Okay, so you make success through this, and then finally you choose 1 more action to upgrade, and that action is linked to a boss scenario. So you've got 3 upgrades. You're feeling powerful, you're feeling athletic, and now things are about to get crazy with these boss scenarios. And I'll share I think my favorite one, which is the plague. So I had this question: how can, instead of the travelers being able to walk themselves to their destination, how can we force them through the player's home area? Well, enter the plague. So as a traveler would step off of lane 4 into the discard pile, instead they get full of damage cubes and they get sent directly home. So now all of a sudden the player is having to figure out how to manage all this pressure on their home area that's completely brand new, even while the travelers that are walking across are still getting attacked by thugs. So anyway, really forcing the players to use all of their strong abilities and time everything just right to deal with this plague that's fallen upon the land. Pretty exciting stuff. And then, each boss battle, I think there's a thrill in each one of these. And interestingly, the player is going to probably be dealing with a different set of upgrades for most of them each time. And I guess just you can see that I'm pretty excited about the replayability in this small package. Let's say there's something like 40 cubes, somewhere around 70-ish cards. I think we have a really nice deliverable with all these little streams of randomness and ways for players to be flexible and creative. I'm just really excited with how this package has developed. Anyway, I think that's about it. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. But yeah, that's it for now. Bye-bye. Yeah, kind of a tricky thing to figure out what to drop into there. But I felt pretty good. I mean, it's just under 4 minutes. I did speed it up quite a bit. Or you can hear in the voice, I sped up the video just a touch, actually. But I think overall, I wanted to communicate that the kernel is still there, like the really simple system that operates just at the very base level. The relationship between the travelers and thugs, I think, is still very cool. It's very simple. It ensures a random experience or a different experience every time, and then we've just built layers on top of that. So I think you may remember that some of the you may remember some of the changes I was able to introduce for the encounter system, or the encounter step, which is not a step and it's not a phase anymore. Now it's just thug actions. I think that works a lot better. Upkeep is therefore simplified, and then even rather than rolling dice as thugs come into play to assign them abilities, which is just crazy. Like, that'd be very, very swingy in general. I could be more intentional about picking who gets what, and then also relying on the fact that the player understands this relationship between traveler and thug, that we can just give something else. We can just add something to that relationship after we turn on the thug ability. So I thought that was really good. I mentioned that very briefly, but then I was able, I think, to highlight some of the campaign system and the variety that we're able to deliver in terms of pressure and experience to the player. So pretty excited about that. The next phase for development in that game, I think, is character, building out different characters. that have very different flavors, different abilities. And that's a really tough thing. You can't just drop them because these scenarios all kind of play on different mechanics, and depending on what you choose, you're going to have a very different experience. That's all. Those are already associated with certain upgrades, and if you now throw player abilities or character abilities into that mix, then things get kind of crazy. Yeah, as far as tuning the scenario to the upgraded ability and also to a character, that becomes basically impossible. So I think instead we'd have to develop character specific challenges, like a character specific campaign, which I think would be fine. I think, now that I have a sense of some of the dials to turn, I think that's okay. So I sent that to Gabe. Haven't heard back yet. I don't expect to hear back for a while. If I don't hear back from Gabe, I'm going to make another video which actually has to introduce the game from the ground up. And I think that will be a little longer, or I don't know. It would take it would need different content. And so maybe what I'll do is I'll build the cell sheet first, and then build the video off of the cell sheet. Well, I feel really good about the progress of A Perilous Road. Still needs plenty of play testing. I did post it. I haven't seen anybody try it yet. I don't know what it's going to take to get some more enthusiasm here or more engagement for playtesting. I really don't know. I think there are people who see this and can engage with it, but so far I haven't seen anybody pick it up. I just sent it in or posted it yesterday morning, so maybe people are busy. That's okay. Okay, where I want to pivot now is to Sugar Shack. So I took Sugar Shack to Claude, and it took a long time to feed Claude the rules. And I actually don't think Claude has it perfect now. But I had it build this prototype. And so what I found is it's actually kind of cool to have it build the prototype and get the prototype working, because then that's a way to verify that it at least understands most of the basics of the game and the rules, the relationships, between actions and how upgrades work. And so if it can build a prototype, then it should also be able to simulate roughly in order to give some general feedback. So I'm going to start a new game here, and from the beginning, we'll actually see if the behaviors are correct. What I don't love about this implementation is because the way these areas are set up, you can't actually tell what each area does. You just can't tell. So so that's kind of a problem. Right? I know what community projects does, but I don't know, or it's possible like I might forget how many cubes I have in the gift shop. I guess it says there's a little readout, but I missed the visual representation that I have in my prototype. But anyway, here we go. So initial setup is, and it's actually says that this is the setup phase. So red's going to place first. Red always does. So let's say red, and what I wanted to do is test some test the grant office upgrade. So I'm going to start working on, you know what? I'm going to do a couple things. I'll have red work toward grant office upgrades, and I'll have blue work toward the income from corporate partner. Okay, so what I did, this is setup. What I did was have blue surround this placement bonus, which is the Grange. I'm having red do the same thing just to accelerate making progress in both the on the ladder of the corporate partner, and then also the accruing cubes in the grant office. I should say too that the mayor cards are built in here, and what we see is that the adding cubes to the corporate partner is incentivized because that's what the mayor card wants. So hopefully blue is already, they already have a kind of advantage. Let's say, yeah, blue is going to the corporate partner. Red is going to the grant office. And so I don't love the UI, but the rules are showing up in the selections I can make. So red has already sent a cube over to the grant office. You can see that because it says the grant office has 1 cube here. I'm sure it's tiny, tiny font. But now it's red's turn first, and let's continue. What I like is that Claude intuited that the player is going to get their initial placement before the mayor shows up. So that's what the mayor actually dims a location, and then there's a little crown there. But anyway, yeah, what are we going to do? So let's go warehouse. I'm going to activate the warehouse, place a bottle. Okay, and I'm going to skip the farmer's market bonus, which I got right here, because I have no cubes. Okay, no, it's red's turn. Blue. And blue can, let's send blue up to the corporate partner right away, which lets you place a cube, and then it's going to activate income. So blue just got $1 of income. Okay, let's have red go up and run their Sugar Shack. Yep, so run it. And then blue, what's blue going to do? Blue needs some more money. And they could also run their Sugar Shack, but let's see, what else can we do? Yeah, maybe they... Oh, you know what? So one thing, I was watching a video earlier today from the Dice Tower, and they were talking about like doing a review of Druids of Edora, which is a game I was trying to get played. I have, and I was trying to get it played on Thursday. So one thing that Tom Vassell pointed out is he doesn't like dead turns at all. And it turns out that there kind of are dead turns in this game. Like right now, what is blue going to do? Blue could just go back and run their Sugar Shack, I guess. And he'll do it. So red's ready to rock now. Red needs money, though. So red's actually going to go in here, activate, place a bottle, and then sell a bottle for 3. Blue. So, like, what can blue do now that's really actually going to make him money? Because the gift shop is no good. Let's actually have blue move out of there. Yeah, like already this is kind of a dead turn. So that's not good. And like, where's red gonna go? It's just back over to community partner. Because the gift shop is one way to really get an income going. Or not, no, it's like get a boost, get money early. Okay, so the warehouse should be full. Because there's 2 bottles in there. And then I can apply the tap bonus. Yeah, so that's a bug, definitely. Or just a misunderstanding of the rules. What version is this? It's getting the warehouse wrong. Wrong still. There should be a cap of two bottle placements and 2 barrel placements total per round. This is not a per player limit. Well, anyway, I'm stepping through. I'm going to treat that rule as it is. I mean, I already know the rule, and so I don't need the game to enforce it. Okay, what's red going to do now? Let's have them come back to... You can skip and then go to the grant office. Yeah, there's too much dead. There's too much a sense that these locations are not that useful, unfortunately. I think. So like blue can come back over here. Red needs to come run stuff. And is blue ready? Blue, how many cubes does blue have? Okay, so there are 3. Okay, so now we should be able to, yeah, recall and earn the mayor card. So it should gain 8 immediately. Yeah, so now... Wait, what? Oh, red. Can red do it now? No. Hmm. Hmm. Well, maybe I'm going to skip. Okay, so can use it to gain the money. Okay, did that. Now let's send them. Okay, so it's great that they pulled. They, it had the I was able to activate the card when I wanted to, which was cool. And now I can go to the hardware store. Oh yeah, so it pulled the meeples back to the staff area, which is exactly right. So I'm gonna go to the hardware store, get an upgrade. What should I do? I think I'm going to upgrade the taps. Okay, now it's to red. And red, now what's cool is I can send the 4th to the grand office. Now let's try and gain an upgrade. Oh, wait. What? What? I thought there were supposed to be 4 cubes. Okay, so I misread that. Okay, so it's blue's turn. Blue has an upgrade, and now let's have blue just kind of go nuts, sending one to. Okay, cannot yet claim a community project. Let me. See, we're still in round one, so this is going very slow. Like, that's not that cool. It's red's turn, so let's have red come back, run the sugar shack. We'll just do that. Okay, blue player. Oh, interesting. Can't do anything. I'm gonna set up a big income round. So red is almost ready to recall now, not quite. Yikes, this is rough. I did that out of order too. Okay, here's the big round for gaining stuff. So apply the tap bonus. Yeah, that's too bad. Let's go back here. Let's skip it. So I'm being very inefficient here, and it really is not feeling very fun right now. Need more money. So what are we gonna do? Okay, at least the sugar bush is running down now. I'm gonna bump red. Okay. Oh, red is going to go to the personal sugar shack. Okay, so blue can place. Let's have blue earn 9 money. Okay, now red. Red still doesn't have, actually even worse now. They don't have what they need. Okay, let me try sending them over here. Blue is going to go to, let's just go here. Activate the gift shop. Let's get 6 money. Now it's blue again. So blue could actively just keep bumping red back. So red could never, ever place on the grand office. Yikes. Oh, that's not good. But now let's have blue upgrade, and let's have them upgrade their staff. Sure. Okay, so blue let red do this. So I'm gonna see, there are 4. That's what I thought. Wait, what happened? What is happening? The grant. Oh wait. In the physical game, office and community partnership spaces, the player leaves a cube behind, covering their opponent's color to claim that space. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what are some notes here? The grant office doesn't seem to be working. I also noticed another what? Another, what is this? It's like deviant? No, another nasty strategy where a player can keep bumping another player to keep them from being able to earn placement bonuses that let players to earn Grange placement bonuses. So I have been playing, testing of filling up the grant office. Then I noticed that I could keep bumping that player with the opponent's workers, and that player could never fill. This is a problem. I'm also noticing that there are too many dead or weak turns. Okay, well, I'll come back and comment when this thing is done here. Okay, so I still want, I'm gonna come back. So anyway, still can't do that. There's no activating, but what if I jump away? Oh, I can upgrade. So I'll upgrade the taps as well. Oh, it's because I bumped blue. That's what just happened. I'm gonna upgrade taps. This is the first upgrade for red then. Okay, let's send blue somewhere. Oh, they have 3 workers too, by the way. So let's send them down here to the maple trees, which feels useless. Now let's go to the grant office and activate. Okay, nothing happened. Yeah, the grant office is definitely not working. Yeah. It's figuring out yeah, so I think it's figuring out how to apply this rule that there's only 1 bottle available. No, 2 bottle spaces available for both players combined. I think it thought that both players could place in their own spaces or something like that, relative like in the warehouse, but that's not the case, so I don't know what it's doing. It's actually running another tournament, which it doesn't need to be doing, but it's just kind of checking to see if anyway. Yeah, so okay, so right now the grant office is broken, which definitely means that any simulating it's doing is getting this huge part of the game wrong. Like whether you whether you work toward the grant office or the corporate partnerships when you send Grange cubes different places, or when you send SERP cubes to different places by activating the Grange. So that's definitely a problem. Let's see if it's done. No, it's thinking. Yeah, okay. So what I didn't highlight this from the start. I was going to get to it by playing through a game and then showing you how the prototype was working. One thing it noticed by simulating, I don't know how reliable these simulations are. That's one concern I have. But the suggestion the one thing it found was that a lot of games weren't finishing. Like it could run, hundreds of simulations in a short time. And there were a bunch of games that were just not finishing. They were in this holding pattern. And what it diagnosed this issue as an incentives problem. Like there were apparently situations where there were still cubes in the sugar bush, but players, like the two players, were taking hundreds of turns and not emptying the sugar bush. As in something, the AI players, the AI bots, recognized that they could be getting money and doing things in other ways other than emptying out the cubes. And so there's something going on there where, depending on what players do, we actually need to build in a guaranteed end, in that something players always want to do is connected to pulling a cube from the sugar bush. So if it's a cost for doing something really important, or if we build it into every time you run your Sugar Shack, which I don't love. It's not as thematic. I mean, the game is already not super duper thematic, but it's even worse if I combine taps with the Sugar Shack action. Yeah, so it ran all this stuff, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to finish. $720 game tournament with different players with different play styles. Okay, now that it did all that, now I'm going to tell it the bad news, which is the grant office is not working. Yeah, so it knows, or it can see right away that this thing is not, it's not right. Yeah, okay, so it's figuring out. Wait, look at look at the sub-choice rendering carefully. It reads this. Let me check the options. No, this all looks correct. Let me check the trophy package, etc. Actions are reaching the UI properly. It said, No. It says maybe the player thought they didn't have. Maybe the player thought there were enough cubes, but there weren't, which is not true. Mm-hmm. So got this right. No. Hmm. So it's cool that it's like you can see it, even though it's it's a large language model. It sounds like it's reasoning through things, which is kind of nuts. Even if this is all just math running in the background to line up words, it's pretty nuts. Like, this is really crazy. Yeah. So I actually think what it kind of noticed, it makes me think that it's possible the right thing to do is to add the possibility of placing a cube at the grant office. Yeah. No. Yeah, I could see making the bumping more costly. I could see that working. I don't like little rules like this, consecutive bumps. I don't. This is possible. Adding more placement bonuses, that's possible. Pre-place the mechanism. Don't love that. Well, let's see what it's coming up with. So I think I kind of like the idea of where am I? So Sugar Shack. Nope, right here. Okay, considering some changes based on Claude feedback. So how to force the sugar bush to drain after a minimum, is it maximum of turns? So it could be add more taps activations, introduce a cost for corporate partnership income. I think these are interesting ideas. Also, this thing about dead turns. I actually know the grant office. The grant office problem. No. The bumping problem. The market and Grange. Player could bully could keep their opponent. Degenerate strategies. That's what I was trying to think of before. A player could keep their opponent from activating the marketing Grange by continually bumping one of them. It would be stupid and mean, but they could do it. So I don't mind that for the market so much, but if I make it so that you can place a cube at the corporate partner, I should probably also make it so you can place a cube at the grant office. The easiest solution, but that means also the players are going to get their grant office upgrades faster. The easiest solution is to allow players to place a cube at the grant office by activating the location itself, like corporate partner now. Okay, and let's see what it comes back with as far as dead turns. Let's see if it's been working on this. What does it have? Yeah, so these locations are essentially useless until they're not. And they're not useful until later on in the game. So this is funny. That's 51,000 wasted placements. Some are probably AI specific bugs. But if even half of that is real player can't claim right now, it's a major design issue. I agree. So what can we do? Let's see what its proposed fixes are. See, this is crazy. Like, it's cool that it like kind of brainstorms some ideas and then I get to pick, and then I could of course ignore all of them and have my own, or say like, oh, okay, so this is a little bit like having a design assistant or a co-designer who says, what do you think about this? And then I get to pretty much say, yeah, okay, I think that works. Or nah, let's try to find another solution. Add a deposit cube option to grant office activation. Yep. So that's what I'm considering. Add additional Grange yielding edges. Optionally fix bumping. You can't bump the same worker. Okay, didn't like. Oh, we already saw that. Add an exchange or scout action. A worker placed at a no action location gains $1 or 1 evap cube. Makes those placements never fully dead. And that will feel very forced, right? Oh, this is good. Grant office deposit or claim. I think that's right. So at least you couldn't go there, drop 2, and then activate the upgrade right away. You'd have to go there and then leave it and then come back. So I think that works well. Okay, let's look at this dead/weak turns. Add an exchange or scout action, and that is if you were to go somewhere and activate it but nothing would happen, then you at least get some kind of compensation, like a basic. Uh-oh, somebody's trying to get into my Microsoft account. Uh-oh. Okay. Make all placements yield something small. I don't love that idea because it means just more busyness, but it could be something. If a worker is placed at a location whose activation does nothing useful, the player gets a consolation. Yeah. Yeah, consolation, I guess, is better than compensation. Tell the AI should never place. No. I'm leaning toward yeah, sort of consolation for placing at a useless location. I'm not sure yet how to implement it. Probably either or. Take the consolation and any placement bonuses, or activate the location. The only weird thing is like taps. I don't love taps. I don't love taps being activated when they're nowhere near the sugar bush. So leaning toward an either place or activate choice for the grant office. So I think we can do that. Also considering either take consolation or activate. Also considering for any town location, any main, maybe main town location. So I think that's interesting. Let's go back to Claude. Let me lay out my interpretation before coding. Grant office depositor claim. Deposit one cube, right? If it's not already a 4, of course. Or claim. Right. Yeah, so what should the consolation be? That's the main question. Because you're still getting let me go back to this prototype. Like, let's say consolation for the warehouse and the grant office was running your taps. Okay, that could be cool. Consolation for the hardware store could be $1. The gift shop could be $1, and community projects could be $1 or maybe $2, because you really don't have any reason to use that. So I'm gonna pitch that to Claude, see what it thinks. The reason I would do taps down at the like on the south end of the map is that I have the sugar bush pictured there, and I think at least that could be interesting. Like, it could be fine just to have the taps run down here. Like, you're kind of just in the area, so run your taps. And then if you were to, actually, maybe this is too crazy. Well, I think what I would do is I would remove this taps bonus, because you would already be getting taps there. and taps over here. So if you were to combine them, then well, if you just activate the taps, that's 6 cubes. That's a total of 6 cubes if you got both of those, like in two turns in a row. So at least taking this one is good. Or limiting the taps to always one cube, I think could be okay. And that, yeah, I think that would be fine. So if I eliminated the bonus here, I could eliminate these placement bonuses, or I could add the Grange down here too, so there are more Grange opportunities. Anyway, that might move things along a little bit. Still, we would be running into the problem that okay, this was good. I think it just applied some compensation without confirming with me, so, or consolation, so I'll have to go back and look at that. Hmm. So let's start with community projects, just to try this. So it'll be $2, and then hardware store or gift shop. Hardware store / gift shop is $1, and then let's try warehouse and grant office, or grant office. A 1 cube taps activation. Remove the taps placement bonus between warehouse and grant office. Okay, it's still thinking about it. Anyway, you can see how this could potentially be really helpful, or if something is off, it could be really unhelpful because we don't know for sure whether it's talking about something. Okay, good. You figured that out. Well, you know what? I'm going to keep working at this for a while. I may have some other stuff to do, but I think that's it for today. We're right about an hour. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for for following along with these bumbling design exercises. And yeah, I hope to have some really good updates for you soon. But for today, that's it for now. Bye bye.